thought it'd be appropriate that I be able to see. And it'd be like cute, like I'm posing with my glasses. So here is the book I have. Discovered the most intimate and eclectic work by the poet of a new generation. It's called Wildly into the Dark, excuse me. Typewriter poems and the rattlings of a curious mind. Tyler Knott Gregson, best-selling author of Chasers of the Light. I've only read a few poems out of this book at random. I think I've maybe read the beginning, but it was so long ago that I can't remember. However, I do remember enjoying what I have read of it. Funny enough, this was a Christmas gift years ago. And when I opened it, my mom said it was supposed to be for my sister. But I enjoyed it so much. I think everyone agreed I could keep it. Something like that happened. And I do love poetry. And I thought it to be a good night for us to, like, delve into, I don't know, deeper thoughts or something more emotional. I've been so emotional recently, just going through a lot of changes and healing, and maybe if you are too, we can just take the time to kind of like think deeper tonight together and maybe do some more healing, get some different point of views. What do you think? Let me read the back of the book for you. It reads, in this collection, fans of the Typewriter series as well as the other poems and photographs of Tyler Knott Gregson will discover an even deeper view into the heart and mind of this fiercely honest and original writer, featuring never before published poems and scenes that paint the world as only Tyler sees and experiences it. This is a book for longtime fans as well as newcomers to Tyler's unique brand of passionate, intimate, and playful words and images. He's a poet, an author, professional photographer, and an artist who lives in the mountains of Helena, Montana. When he's not writing, he runs his photography company, Treehouse Photography, and there he is. Okay, I'm ready. Yeah, let's just kind of sift through. I don't have any specific ones picked out for you tonight. We are discovering these poems together. I thought that would make it more fun, kind of, you know. You can see my, like, raw reaction to things. I just painted my nails as well. So why don't we go ahead and read the first poem? Just because, you know, it's the very first one. Maybe I feel like it'll be a special one, right? Okay, and excuse me if I skip any words I don't know. If you've been here a while, you know I tend to not know. Sometimes even simple words. Okay, I won't lie to you. This is my third time reading this poem now, because planes keep going by, and probably my fourth because I probably read it years ago. So this is not my raw reaction, but it's still a nice poem, so I'm going to read it to you. We will wake to the road, the ribbon of black stretched and winding north. We were made to do this. There's a reason our toes point forward, and we will find what others before us gave up for lost. Carry us wind, drift us across borders, and let us settle like dust. Where will we accumulate? Come with me, hold my hand, and wander off the map into the rest of what lives out beyond this, into the untamed pieces of the world. Let us find the solitude, the perfect solace of standing quiet in the great expanse. Just stand with me. You are the only one I know that feels as good as alone. For some reason, even the third time I read this, I kept reading friendships, I'm always like, oh, come on, tell me everything. Okay. I'm gonna read this one because I liked the first sentence I read. I will be the silhouette in the window light if you will be the indentation in the mattress. Some mornings you will rise before me. Some I will count your breaths as I pull shirt sleeves down arms and force my face through the neck of some clothing I will wish I was not wearing. Be the light to the ceiling fan. I'll be the squeak of the reading lamp as it is pulled closer. Be the shower steam, and I'll write your name on the mirror. Oh, well, that was lovely. Wow, that was romantic. I liked that. One of my favorite songs ever in the whole world is Anything by Adrian Lenker. And of course, I've always listened to it and loved it for years, right? But recently, I just, read the lyrics and sobbed. And yes, I heard them, but I never really, thought about them. And I tend to do that with songs. People will say, listen to the lyrics. And I don't, which is strange because I love poetry and art and music and, anything emotional like that. So I don't know. I think I get so caught up in, the tune of music that sometimes I forget to listen to the words. I do sometimes, but especially a song where maybe you can't fully understand what they're saying, like indie music, sometimes the words aren't as clear, and I'll just get caught up in, the melody, especially if it's really good. And so recently I just, really read the lyrics, and it's one of the most, romantic songs I've ever heard in my life. So if you've never heard it, go listen. If you don't like the melody, just read the lyrics. If you love the melody, go back and really pay attention to lyrics. It's beautiful. Okay, done with my rant. Alright, I'm feeling good just reading the poems, from page to page, so that maybe later on or tomorrow or whenever I can just continue to read them. So instead of just kind of flipping through random ones, I think I'm going to read them from page to page and maybe kind of every at the end flip through for some random ones. What do you think? Alright, this one has a picture of a sunset with a little teepee here. Let's read it. There is magic out there, so its magic we'll seek. Adventure lives a whisper beyond our comfort zones. Just half a breath after no turns into yes. Here's to the wildlife we will never stop living. Here's to the wanderlust and the light we were born to chase. I like that. I've currently been just thinking about how much I want to travel and how I've wanted to do it for years, and that I have a little bit, but not the way I wanted to. And that I always make up excuses, even though it is accessible to me, if I make it. And yeah, I'm just getting the vibe that, it's the time. horizon of your emotion. What do we call this? I've heard of the words that describe longing for unnameable things, blank aches for fairies. Of vague originations. Sorry, I didn't know a word. How many syllables belong to the word that attempts to encompass the feeling of spotting the one you need across a crowd? A sea of wrongs in one lighthouse of right. Are there ways of describing your feet when they cannot run fast enough to close that gap? I deal in words. They, the paint to the blank canvas of each page I am given, but I do not know enough. I am overwhelmed with how little color I have, how little hue, to paint the landscape of this life. Wow, I like that a lot as well. I feel like I get ideas to write poems myself, not that they're as good as these. And I had an idea similar to this one, actually. Wow. Like, just the idea that there's feelings that don't have names. You know, like every single person experiences every day differently, and there's so many lives. And we all have these feelings, these different feelings that maybe some people have never even felt before. And there's just no word for them. Oh wow, I'm trying to think of a specific one that I have. But I can't right now, because it's difficult for me to pinpoint thoughts sometimes. But one of them is actually an uncomfortable feeling. I get this feeling in like the pit of my stomach sometimes if I wear like revealing clothes, like something with my shoulders out or my stomach out. And I'm starting to think maybe it's like an intuition feeling when somebody is like looking at me and thinking weird things. Do you know what I mean? Because I noticed I only ever get it in public. I've never got it in my room. And I can sometimes pinpoint someone who may be kind of creepy. And it's strange. It could just be maybe if I'm wearing something. No, because it's happened even when I wasn't wearing clothes that were revealing, so I don't know. Maybe I'm a psychic. But anyways, comment like a feeling that you've had that has no word that you can't describe. And we can all talk about it in the comments, maybe. I know I don't always respond to comments, but I always read them. It's just difficult for me to sometimes do things. I procrastinate. I think I have ADHD, so sometimes I'll go to do something and I physically can't do it for some reason, but I always read them, so don't worry. Alright, we have a little short one here and then quite a long one, so let's read them both. Itchy. If I do not follow you out of this zone of comfort I've lived safely inside, push me, pull me, or throw me from what circle? If my wander loses its lust, if the soles of my feet begin to rust, if I forget the way to adventure, force it upon me, until I remember, demand a life of 5,000 shades from ordinary. I like that one a lot. Wow, a lot of these resonate with me. Tyler and I have things in common. I do have a fear of being ordinary as well, which I don't like. I don't think I should like pressure myself into having to be amazing or different. I think that I'm good just the way I am. Even if I were to want a very normal life, that would be perfectly fine. But I don't. Alright, I'm moving on to the longer poem now. I will love you in memories, and the memories will be many. I will love you in the dark wood under bare feet, the familiar squeaks and worn-out pieces of floor. I will love you in the smells of breakfast, of coffee floating up the stairs to sleeping noses. I will love you with midnight eyes and morning voices, soft humming to fevered heads, dances, and circles. I will love you in the places we've been and the pieces of ourselves we've left behind along the way, the half-torn stubs to fully used tickets, the pocket-softened passes from planes boarded, the sand in the suitcases we discover months after our return. I will love you in lazy Sunday afternoons and groggy Monday mornings, and exhausting Wednesdays when Friday seems 2 lifetimes away. the maples mornings, the arms out windows surfing the air that blows by, and the stamps and passports, and the weeks we never leave the house. I will love you in promises kept, and even those broken, though they will be few. I will love you in the walks and the runs, and the sweat pouring down backs for a dozen reasons, some sweeter than the rest. I will love you in the steam rising from the mug, and the mug casting circles on the table, and the table built with aching hands from the stage. So many stood atop, danced on, sang, spoke with the clarity and purpose. I will love you in all they tore down, and all that we saved from disintegration. I will love you in forgiveness given and apologies accepted, in long conversations about hard topics, and the gentle understanding and tenderness that comes only with respect, and the respect that comes only when it's reciprocated and often. I will love you in the moments fresh from a shower, unadorned, simple, and exactly perfect. I will love you in the sheets, bare and clinging. I will love you in pieces, singularly kissed and worshipped for being as they are always. I will love you in memories to be made, and made thus far. I will love you in memories, and the memories will be many. Wow, well that was very sweet. I love poems with repetition. I write a lot of poems with repetition to a point where I'm like, oh, people will get sick of this, even though nobody reads my poems. I keep them to myself. I think of it in a sense of like, I pretend I'm a poet that writes books. I'm like, they're gonna get sick of this. Which is funny now that I say it out loud. Who cares? Nobody's reading them. I can write my repetition poems as much as I want if it makes me happy, right? So I'm going to. Alright, so here's a little picture. Some leaves with like dew on them. This poem's got some green in it. I love green. Alright. My hand is hurting from the way I'm holding this. If one more freaking plane goes by and interrupts our poem reading, I'm gonna lose it. Please stop. We're trying to inspired by whatever you want. You know, life is like literally whatever you want it to be. So whatever you read, you can interpret it as you want. If it makes you happy, go with it. But it's like funny to think that like no one would know exactly what I was writing about or exactly what I meant. Yeah. Anyways. Okay, this one's quite short. Don't you want a face, cannon, carved, and eroded in smiling places? Don't you want hair, snow-colored from all the hours spent outside our comfort zones? What of legs weary of from wandering feet and curious eyes? What of bed frames with claw marks left behind, like signatures of passion? Will you feel shame for wanting to suck every drop of life out of your days, every ounce of joy from the years you were given? No, you won't. You'll never feel shame for doing what you want. You will feel shame for not doing what you want based on what other people think or what you think. Maybe even what you think is right or wrong. Keep that in mind. Oh, look at this nice picture. Look at the two people going to the tree. Okay. Love is a peculiar creature. How it flows out of us and leaks into the cracks and fractures of the life around us. How it can grow, expand. How it can encompass so many things that fill up our lives. The people and the animals, the moments and the adventures. We are born to love, built for it, and that ability is always there beneath the surface, no matter how buried we think it becomes, no matter how much we forget. We are put here to love freely, and I have just begun. Oh. Wow. I like that. Will I have taken these for granted, these moments, this life? Will I reach the next beginning and carry regret into the new light, the first light? The first light. I was gifted a million opportunities to appreciate this blink of an existence. I will promise myself until these knees are bloodied. Yeah. And my tongue is swollen, that I will live with eyes open wide and a heart that never closes. There is nowhere else to start but here. I have no more time left to waste. For the thousands of moments waiting, I see you, and I will cherish you as you've always deserved. Forgive me. Please forgive me for every unappreciated second, for every time I forgot to thank you out loud. Oh. Wow. Some of these poems, like they do resonate, but I can't even explain why. They just do. Okay. They could come for months, stay for years, decades or more, and still I would remember less of them than I did after the first of you. The first time our skin grazed each other's. Some spin through our days like an unheard whisper. They fall away with just the dull sensation that someone, somewhere was saying our name. Some are the open mouth scream. Some are the open mouth scream inches from eardrums. The voice that leaves us hearing the beat of our own hearts inside. Yeah, you know what these also make me think? They make me think of how, if you're romantic, if you are a romantic, hopeless, hopeful, whatever you want to say. I'd like to say I'm a hopeful romantic. That sometimes you will put people in places that they don't belong. I think of how when he was writing this, he genuinely meant that. And I think of how I've written things or done things that are romantic and sweet, starless with shadow. Meet me here, though the shore is soft and your feet are dry, and you'll never need to fear the dark waters. Meet me here, here in the depths of all this, for I have been waiting, legs churning the ink of these lonely waters to keep my mouth high enough for you to hear your name shouted into the sea between us. Meet me here, wade out and finally swim to me. I will love you on your shores, but only here, in the bottomless, can I hold you. Now this one is behind, or on top of a picture of lightning. Just the other day, lightning struck my house. Or last week, or maybe even like 2 weeks ago. For one moment in my short little blip of a life, I danced with her. She reached her lily-white fingers out and I took hold. For one moment, this little me was connected to the great big everything, a crooked line from the soil to the sky, and in between me, glowing. This is a different poem. Lightning came, white, hot, and flirtatious. She was all hands, I was all she saw. I know now, scars sunken and heartbeats slowed. Struck but surviving, I must have been water all along. For sand would melt into glass, and glass is born for breaking. I know now, battered and tossed aside for too often, that I am the unbreakable. I am the electrical charged but still flowing river. I will wash it all away. Reading books like this sometimes make me feel hope, or listening to songs that are super sweet and romantic makes me feel like there's more people out there that like think similarly to me, and that maybe I'll meet somebody like that one day. Yeah, just gives me like more hope for love, because it's easy to lose that hope sometimes. But how about we pick a random poem in the book, and let's say the first one is for me. Okay, the first one is for me to see if it resonates with me. The second one will be for you. Okay, so let's see. Alright. Okay, this one's for me. They ask me why I write of love, why all the words are hopeful. I hear them scream from darker places that my ladders rise too high to see. They rest on clouds and one day will fail me. I whisper back against the voices loud. The truth may shake, but I'll say it proud. We're all writing about love, we just don't sound the same. Boil it down, reduce it to a simmer, and separate it out into parts, into atoms, and the spaces between them, and it's all the same. Your broken heart is mine, and they are both waiting for the stitches. Oh, wow. Okay. Alright, the last poem we read tonight is for you. Now only take it if it resonates, or just enjoy it if it doesn't. I'm feeling yours more, I was gonna say towards the end of the book, but I'm feeling it more towards the beginning, actually, I think. Alright. This one is on a pretty picture of the sky with some trees. Okay. For such a short time we are here, gifted years by silent explosions in the deep nothing of space. We are the star-dusted blips on the timeline of all things, half of a blink in the history of it all. While we are here, we have a choice on how to tumble through our time. We can find every possible way the galaxy has let us down. The pitfalls and terrible defeats, all we believe we do not have, or we can go another way. We can wake in awe and wonder and give our breath freely for all that never bothers to ask if it can take it away. We can chase light and miracles, hiding in so many unassuming places. We can repeat 2 words like a mantra, no matter what comes. Thank you. Thank you for the starlight that shines inside us. Thank you for the moonlight above. Thank resonated.